Hello, and thank you for joining me for another Synology Solution Seminar. I'm Dave, one of the sales managers here at Synology. In this video, I'm going to go over some of our best practices to optimize your surveillance deployment. Surveillance Station is Synology's video management system software, which can be installed for free on any of our network-attached storage devices. Surveillance Station has a robust feature set, but is also extremely easy to use. So, you've got a lot of options for your surveillance deployment. Why go with Synology? To start, our devices support a wide variety of cameras. Since Synology has been in the network-attached storage market for so long, you can trust that your surveillance footage is safe on one of our units. One example of how Synology protects your data is our support for all of the most common RAID configurations. A RAID can be set up easily on any of our units and will protect your data through hard drive redundancy. Our surveillance software has rich features and advanced video analysis tools, which are easy to set up and manage. And our solutions are scalable from a single camera to thousands. One of the things which sets Synology apart from other surveillance solutions is that there are no subscription fees. Each unit comes with 2 free camera licenses, and if you purchase additional camera licenses, they're yours for life. Surveillance Station supports over 6,000 different camera models from over 110 brands, and we're constantly testing new cameras. If you don't find your preferred camera on our compatibility list, don't worry. We also support any camera which is compatible with the on-VIF protocol. Let's get into optimizing your deployment. We'll talk about choosing a camera, selecting video quality settings, optimizing motion detection settings, and using our video playback and search tools. When you're choosing a camera, we recommend shooting for a resolution of at least 1080p for a clear HD picture. We also recommend using a minimum of 15 FPS, or frames per second, so that you see smooth motion in the footage that you capture. Be sure to pick a camera that supports the H.264 encoding method in order to save space on your hard drives. Here's why it's so important to use the H.264 encoding method. When using H.264 instead of MJPEG, you'll use almost 5 times less space and 5 times less bandwidth. Once you know the requirements for your cameras, you can visit Synology.com and use our NVR selector tool to find the best NAS unit for your needs. You may have noticed that H.265 is an option in the NVR selector tool. Synology does support H.265, and you'll save even more space by using that encoding method. But most cameras do not yet support H.265. So, you've chosen your cameras. Now it's time to connect them to your network. I would typically advise against connecting cameras via Wi-Fi, unless you're certain you'll have an extremely reliable connection. Even then, there's the issue of routing power to the camera or relying on batteries. A bit better would be a non-PoE, or Power over Ethernet setup. In this type of setup, you'd run a power cable and Ethernet cable to each camera in your deployment. A much easier way to handle things would be to purchase PoE-capable cameras and a PoE switch, and simply run a single Ethernet cable to each camera. Okay, we've got our cameras hooked up to the network. Let's take a look at a few settings in Surveillance Station which will help make the most out of our camera feeds. We'll discuss multiple profiles for your camera, choosing the right live view source, and rotation settings. Let's imagine a setup where we have 49 cameras all being viewed at 1080p. This would use an absurd amount of bandwidth and would not be a practical way to view these channels. Luckily, Synology has a setting which allows the resolution to dynamically scale based upon the size of the display. So when 49 camera feeds are showing, the resolution is low, and when you switch to full screen, the resolution will automatically upscale. Surveillance Station has a similar feature for recordings. Let's imagine you have a continuous 480p recording setup. In the top left corner, we see a motion event trigger, which causes the camera to start recording in 1080p instead. Once the event has ended, the camera will automatically revert back to 480p. Let's take a look at how easy it is to change these settings within Surveillance Station. So here we are in our Surveillance Station client. I'll go ahead and click into IP camera, and we can see that I've already connected Demo Camera 1 to the NAS device. I'll right-click and click Edit, and this puts us under Device Settings. So I'll click on the Video tab, and we can see that we already have Stream 1 set to 1080p at 15 frames per second. I'll create a second stream profile under both balanced and low bandwidth, and that makes a second profile, Stream 2, pop up at the bottom of the page. And we'll leave that at 480p at 10 frames per second. What that allows us to do is to go into recording settings, and we can see our schedule here has us continuously recording 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we'll go into the Stream tab, and we can see that the balanced stream profile is what is currently selected for that continuous recording. So that's the profile set to 480p at 10 frames per second. I'm going to check this box to enable advanced settings for continuous recording. And by doing this and selecting motion detection, we can cause a motion detection trigger to cause our camera to start recording in HD. And when nothing seems to be going on, we'll save space on our hard drives by using a lower resolution. We can also go into our live view settings here, and all we have to do is just select this radio button, and this is going to adjust the stream profile according to the display size when we're in the live view, whether on our mobile device or straight from the surveillance station client, which we're in right now. In a moment, I'm going to talk about this video source for your live view setting. As I was showing within surveillance station, you have the option to change your live view source between from camera and from surveillance station. Essentially, this decides whether your camera or your NAS unit processes the stream. If you select the From Camera option, you'll generally have a shorter delay and your NAS won't have to process the live feed. But typically, you'll want your NAS to process the stream, since it will have much more processing power than your camera. This is especially true if multiple people need to view the feed at the same time. Using the From Camera option would also make it necessary to set up port forwarding to make your cameras accessible from outside of your network. For a typical deployment, I recommend using the Live View through Surveillance Station option. Synology supports the ability to rotate your camera view. As an example, in this hallway, the green area represents the normal field of view for a camera. Cameras which support rotation can rotate 90 degrees to display the yellow highlighted area in order to get a more useful view of the hallway. Moving on to motion detection, take a look at this camera's view of a backyard and driveway. There are many objects which would cause the motion detection to trigger, causing your email inbox to look like this. Motion detection can be managed in a few different ways. First, the sensitivity and threshold at which motion detection triggers can be changed. The motion detection area can also be modified. In this example, the detection area now no longer includes the shadow on the driveway or the bushes and road in the background. Now, notifications should be significantly reduced. Even after optimizing your motion detection settings, you may still receive more notifications than you'd like. In a moment, I'm going to demo how to further reduce the frequency of notifications, show you how to schedule a notification mute, and talk about how our home mode feature can manage and reduce your alerts while you're at home. I'm also going to discuss how to view your recordings. We've got 3 different ways you can interact with footage: the recording folder, timeline, and smart search. So as you can see, we have email, SMS, and push notifications. And let's check Enable Email Notifications. Now let's say you only want to be notified of an event happening once every 5 minutes. You'd go ahead and check this Enable Email Interval Limit, and just go ahead and set this to 5. Similarly, if we go into Advanced, we can combine notifications of the same category. So let's say if we only want to be notified every 5 minutes of a motion event or an audio event, this is where we'd change that setting. Now we can go into Settings, and we can get even more granular with this. So let's say I never want to be notified when I enter or leave home mode, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment. All I'd have to do is uncheck these 2 boxes, and I'm good to go. Let's say we only want to be notified of an audio event when it's nighttime. We can select Audio Detected, go up to Edit Schedule, and click Edit. And then we can just delete the time from 6 to 6 when we don't want to be notified. Now let's talk about home mode. The idea behind home mode is to set up a profile for Surveillance Station that works differently when you're home versus when you're away. There are 3 different ways that we can cause home mode to trigger. The first of which is to manually turn it on and off. You can also download the DS Cam app on your mobile device and turn on geofencing so that your device automatically detects when you're home. You can also set up a schedule so that if you know you'll be home at 6 p.m. every night and you'll be leaving at 6 a.m. every morning, you can set that up right here. Within the Settings tab, you can set up your recording schedule, notifications, and your stream profile that you want to work while you're at home. Moving on to 3 different ways you can interact with your footage once it's been captured. First, we have our recording folder, which houses the raw recordings. You can download or delete files directly from this folder. Next, we have our timeline tool. I'll go ahead and zoom in on the day here, and we can see that in gray is our continuous recording throughout the day, and in blue we have our motion detection events. Lastly, we have Smart Search. Smart Search is a tool which can scan for specific types of events, like a blocked camera or missing object, in a specific part of the frame. As an example, I'll highlight this teacup, and Smart Search will run through the day and automatically create a video clip of the teacup going missing. Our surveillance software can integrate with many devices on your network, like door controllers, intercom systems, POS systems, and I/O modules. With these devices, you can create custom events and triggers, so events are tracked or recorded exactly the way you want them to be. Once you've got your deployment set up, you'll need a way to view and manage all of your devices. Before spending your time and money to build a computer, consider one of Synology's visual station units. The VS960HD can live view as many channels as a computer with an i5 processor at a fraction of the cost. These visual station units are our thin clients, which connect directly to Surveillance Station. Simply connect the device to your network, add a keyboard, mouse, and up to 2 monitors, and you're ready to go. A great option for retail deployments is our all-in-one solution, the NVR1218. This is our 2-bay NVR unit, which can manage up to 12 channels and includes an HDMI port, giving you the ability to record, manage, and view your surveillance footage, all using a single device. Synology has become a trusted name in the surveillance market, used by companies around the world. Express Stores, one of the largest T-Mobile resellers, chose Synology for our scalability. Our units have been deployed at over 200 of their locations, controlling over 2,000 cameras. And with Synology's central management system, Express only needs to log into a single unit to manage their entire fleet of Synology devices. Holiday Inn chose Synology to replace their existing NVR solution because of our compatibility with their existing cameras and to avoid costly monthly subscription fees. Camden Market in London decided on Synology because of our live view functionality. With over 25,000 visitors daily, 12 viewing stations help to direct emergency response teams if there's ever a need for them. To learn more about Synology and all of our products, visit our website at synology.com or subscribe to this YouTube channel to see more videos like this one. Thank you for joining me and have a wonderful day.